Hi, it's Dan here from Flexxable, and today I'm going to show you in 30 minutes how to build your own CRM using Google Sheets. Let's dive in. Okay, so this video today is more for the newbie that might be coming in and starting to think about building an agency, whether it be retainer or pay per lead or whatever that looks like. Okay, because I know when I first started in the agency game, I didn't have a lot of money to blow. In fact, I didn't really have any money. I was working a job as an engineer, and in my spare time, I was starting to build my agency, right? So I didn't, have time for, they didn't have HighLevel, or they didn't have Active Campaign or any of these different tools back then, but or they might have had Active Campaign, but it was a time where I didn't have any money, right? So what I'm going to show you today is a really good example of how you can do this for free or very close to free with Google Sheets. And to this day, I still use Google Sheets in my agency. Every single lead that comes in to my business is then zapped over to a Google Sheet, and we're able to track where the ads come from, where the leads come from, which ads were clicked, what the targeting was, what platform it was, whether it was an organic lead or a paid lead, whether it came from Facebook or TikTok. And then we're able to track over time whether or not those leads convert and put a monetary figure against that to get an understanding of what our return on ad spend is. Okay, so this is probably, I almost look at this spreadsheet daily and it just updates itself. Okay, and it's so valuable. We're running a campaign at the moment where it's a B2B campaign. We're selling our sales Android, and we're trying to figure out, if we spend $1,000 a day on leads, how quickly the sales happen and how quickly, that return on ad spend happens, whether or not we can wipe our ad spend out quickly with profit, and then we just keep ramping. Okay, so this is a really good tool to be able to do that. Works super well. It's easy, and it's easy to understand for people like me that are not massive kind of spreadsheet geeks or kind of tech nerds. It's just not the way I'm wired. So it's a really good way to do this. But luckily, I have a tech nerd in my team. His name's Graham. You're probably not going to like being labeled a tech nerd, but anyway, he's really good at what he does. And I'm going to pass over to him now, and he'll show you how to set all this up within 30 minutes or less. Catch you later.
Hey guys, and cheers for that, Dan. So basically I'm just going to take you through how we kind of create our Google Sheets CRM. I mean, this is epic if you haven't got a lot of spare cash for a proper CRM, or you can have it in tandem with your CRM. Because sometimes you can use the pivot table to easily get out patterns in your data, and I'm going to take you through how that all works now. Okay, so here is the template. Comment below if you would like this template, and we can send you over a copy. So it's all set up for you. But basically here it is. So there's loads of dummy data in here. This is for our BizCar quotes page. Now, what we bring through is all of the quiz questions. As you can see, they're coloured in green, which is basically, this is for car finance. Brings through their email. You can bring through their name and number. So it's up to you. Just bring through their email. And then also, because we do it running on LeadSook, we also get their geo data as well. So as you can see, we got country, region, city, IP, device, ISP. You can bring that all through from LeadSook. And then also we have the UTMs, basically, so like the campaign data, so you can see which ads are basically coming through and which are converting. You got your lead price there, so you can do like totals in the pivot table as well, and you also got whether they converted or not, or whether. And then each one is assigned one lead, so you can total up the leads in the pivot table. Now, before we get onto the pivot table, I will show you how to build all this, by the way. I'm just giving you a little step by step through it. We have another tab here called Converted, which basically you just pop in your email, and these pre-filled formulas will bring through their ad data. So for example, if we go and grab a name, so let's get this one here. just a random one. Say your client feeds back that a list of people who have converted for them. You can add them in here, and you can see if there are any trends from like which campaign, which audience, which ad name, which ad is getting the most conversions for your client. So we'll just pop that in there, and as you can see, this is coming through. So that's a YouTube lead, and it'll tell you which campaign, which ad group, and which ad it came from. Let's get a Facebook one up next. Let's try this one. So again, so the clients come back and said these two converted from the 50 we sent over. So you'll be able to see there's one from YouTube and one from Facebook, both kind of from the ad one, and it tells you like the campaign ID and group ID. And then that will also, so when you put it in the converted tab, it will also tag this as converted. So you can see yes here. And that takes on to the pivot table. This is where you can really dig down into your data. So you can just press edit here on the pivot table. So let's have a look. So rows you can see is converted at the moment. So that's the row. So that's this one here. And then we're also seeing the ad name as well in the columns, which is, one second. Sorry. So they're both rows. So you've got two rows in there, converted in ad name. So that will tell you yes, add one, and then you can bring that out. So as you see, if they haven't converted, it'll be not applicable. If they have converted, it will be a yes. So obviously we've only put two conversions in there. So you can, as you can see, they've both been tracked as ad one. So you can see ad one's got two conversions, and these are the ones that haven't got any other conversions. So we can just dot that off. If you wanted to kind of see how well your ads are doing in terms of leads, you can go just clear that out and go to rows. You can press add, and let's go to lead. So this is the number of leads that you've got. And then down here in columns, you can get rid of this. You can add as many as you want in here. So let's see ad name. Let's see how many. So as you can see, and let's get rid of lead price. And then also an important thing to do, filters. So the filter should be set up as date. And then you want to just click here and you want to make sure everything is selected. And then let's just do this. Let's try rows, ad name. There we go. And then columns can be lead. Let's just make sure they're black. So you want to add lead in the value section. So as you can see, you better see now ad name. You can see how many conversions there have been for each ad title, and you can add more in. So you can check via each. You can drag them in like this. Pop that under there. Actually, let's put that over the top of that. So now you can see each ad set, and you can kind of see the totals for that ad set, and what ads have converted for that ad set. And if we look through, then we can kind of go and see patterns in the data as well. So we get rid of this. We can then start looking at car value, maybe. How many people, so what values the cars are coming in at. And then you can see, depending on the salary, that drills it down a little bit more as well. You don't want to get it too granular though. Let's see. And then you can kind of do this kind of pivot table where you have one data across the top, which we've gone like deposit is percentage. So you can see how many people want this car with a certain percent, this value with a certain percentage. So obviously it splits out a little bit more. So you can do a whole manner of things with this. You can really drill down into your data, which is really handy. You can kind of see if there's any comparisons with quality. So, for example, if you want a high car value, we can put car value in columns like so, and then we can go and get the ads here, and we can kind of see what ad is getting. So ad 1 you can see is getting some good high value cars here, whereas say ad 3 and ad 2 are a little bit less. So if you're looking for the high value, then that will give you a little bit of insight into ad 1 is bringing me way more high value cars. So that's obviously working to a person with a higher disposable income. So you can do all this cool stuff on it. I thoroughly recommend doing it, even if you have got a CRM, because it's quite easy to use. Like this, you can have a play around. You can really drill down into data. So how to set it up? So basically, you'll have this template. Again, if you want ours, just comment below, and we'll send it over to you. You can make a copy, put it into your Google Drive, and then what you're going to want to go and do is have a Zap as well. And obviously from wherever you have your data. So we have our pages in Unbounce. So this particular funnel that we've done it on, it's a quiz to a results page. So obviously here's the quiz page. It has a leads hook quiz on it, which is here. Each node will have a custom field, which you need to make sure that is being pulled through in the URL. So as you can see, this is our results URL on the redirect after they've submitted the quiz. And it will have every single custom field they've answered saved like this in LeadsHook. Now, if you're doing it from anywhere else, you need to do this as well. Make sure it kind of like gets stuck in the URL. So you want to make sure you stick that in onto your URL string when you go to the next page. Some places like Unbounce, if you're doing it from Unbounce, like you might not be doing it from LeadsHook, you should be able to append form data to URL. So that will do the exact same thing. That will append the data that they have just answered onto the next URL, which here's the thank you page. But in LeadsHook specifically, you need to make sure that you manually put this into the URL string on the redirect. Okay, that the thing in the kind of like the squiggly brackets is the LeadsHook value, and this is the value that will be in your Unbounce form. And I'm just going to show you it now. So this is the form on the results page. So LeadsHook quiz on the quiz page. They go through it, they submit it, they then hit the results page. There should be a URL string in the URL bar with all the answers they've answered. And to make sure you capture it in your Unbounce page, you need to go into your form and you need to create hidden fields and basically name them what you've got here. So as you can see, we've got job status. Obviously that will capture the URL string in the URL bar, and it will save it to the form data for when we want to zap it into our sheet. So we've got loads here. This is all the values that we're putting into our Google Sheet, as you can see. And yeah, I think that is everything. I will run through this and show you an example of it working. Then we use Zapier. You can use Mate. You can use a custom webhook depending on how techy you are. Zapier is very, very good for the layman. And this is how we do it. Basically, we trigger it on a form submission. You don't necessarily want to trigger it on the LeadsHook quiz on a quiz to results because they haven't put in their contact details yet. If you are getting their contact details inside your LeadsHook tree, then you can use a Zapier catch hook, which is quite simple to do. We have a video on that actually. If you're not sure, pop it in the top corner now. Or you can, I think there is a Zapier connection with LeadsHook. I've always found it a bit spotty though. But those are the two options you have if you're just running a quiz page with no results page. If you're running a results page, then you want to fire the Zap on this submission. So when they become a full lead, they've put in their details, that's when you want to send it over. So you just want to go trigger new form submission in Unbounce, select your account. The trigger should be you just want to go and find your results landing page. That should be the trigger. and then you want to send a test through. Yeah. Next up, I just like having a formatter in there. It formats the time. This helps inside the Google Sheet because it gives you an actual date that you can pop in there so you know when that lead was submitted. Otherwise, you get this kind of like long string time and date. You just want this one for this one. To time zone. You want to map it to your time zone, and then that should be all good. And then finally, you want to create a row in Google Sheets. Now, this is when you want to go and find that template that you've just downloaded, or if you're creating your own, go and find your own one. And then you want to map the data, basically. So as you can see, we've got the spreadsheet selected here. You want to make sure it's going in the conversion data tab, not the pivot table or converted. And then you can see you just map the unbalanced details here. And as you can see, the form data does pick up the UTMs here, which is like the stuff from lead took, because it's submitted as a hidden field, and that's why it's so important to do that. As you can see, it's all mapped like so, and then this is a fixed integer here. Oh, you want to make sure you put a 1 in the lead section as well, because that just counts it as one lead. That's a fixed static value as well. Converted, leave them empty. Press continue. Publishes that. And as you get in new leads, you're going to need to drag this down. So you just drag it down, and that will work fine like that. But don't go below the last bit of data, because obviously that's where it's going to populate your data, basically. So let's see how this works together. So this is our qualify page. I'm just going to pop in some UTMs. I'm just going to pause. Okay, so I've just popped in the kind of like the URL string that would an example one from Facebook. So you press enter. So that's how it will look when you come from a Facebook ad. You can scroll down, and you can start popping these in. So I'll just fill it all out. It comes to your results page, which looks like this. And then you can start putting in your name. So put in some test data. Postcode. Cool. And they complete it. Now, see, as you can see, this is the kind of like the form data that's been appended, and it will also append everything. Everything's come through from LeadSook. Just to show you as well, LeadSook. This is what should be coming through from the LeadSook thing. As you can see, it's bringing through all the data from LeadSook. Let's just go check that it's gone in. So, yeah, you can see your name at test.com has just come in, 28th. You scroll along, has all their answers. It's all inputted correctly. There was no device for some reason, but that's up to LeadSook. Got the production campaign, car finance ad too. So it brings it all through, and this is just a great way just to collate all your data, so you can really drill down and have a little play in the pivot table. As I said, it's very easy to set up, very minimal cost as well. If you've already got Zapier, then it's literally nothing to do really. But yeah, that's basically how we set it up. We run it for everything we do. We have sheets now that are over 10,000. You can really have a really cool look at what's going on in the pivot table as well. Just make sure that you, every time you use it, very important that you amend the filters. So that should always be date, the filters. So you can just pick whatever dates that you want to look at. If you want them to be all, I think you can just select all somewhere. Show all items. Yes, that's it. Select all or clear. You can do that. In values, it should be lead, because that will just show you like the numeric one per line in your sheet. So you want values to be lead all the time, and then you just play around with rows and columns to see whatever suits you. Columns obviously is this one. So this is like, sorry, no, this is rows, add name. So that makes up your rows, and columns is along here. This is the down value. If you don't have a column, it will just be automatically the sum of the value, which is lead. So that just tells you like very linear what's happening basically. If you wanted to really drill down into your campaigns, you could kind of like go campaign ID, group ID, and that will kind of show you what's happening. So that's the campaign that's got the most, and you can see what ads have gone underneath that ad group as well. Be very much like a looking in your dashboard, except this also is 100% accurate, whereas Facebook, Google, and that they can be a little bit out sometimes. This allows you to make decisions a lot more quicker as well if you look at it like that. Well, I hope this has been helpful, guys. Obviously, if it has, please give me a like. And if you have any comments on this at all or want the template, please pop a comment below and we'll send it over to you. And yeah, if you want to see more videos like this, then please subscribe to our channel. Cheers, guys. Bye-bye.
Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed this video today with Graham. Of course, if you have any questions for him, because there are some techie bits to it, then type in the comments below and we'll do our best to get back to you. Please subscribe to our channel so you'll be the first to know whenever we create new videos like this. And lastly, hit that like or that thumbs up so we know to create more videos like this, I guess. While I have you, we have just launched a product called the Sales Android, which is specifically designed to help agencies and agencies' clients that are struggling to stay in touch with out-of-hours leads, having salespeople that are off sick or don't work after 6 p.m. or are not very good at getting back to leads very quickly, within the first minute or so, because that really hurts the profitability of campaigns. This is done with a combination of HighLevel, Zapier, and OpenAI and ChatGPT, and it's honestly amazing. There'll be a link below inside the description, which will take you to a Google Doc, which will show you more about what works and how it works and what it looks like. And I'd love for you to check it out. I'll speak to you later.